if someone told you that pet overpopulation isn't real, that there are enough homes for all the unwanted cats, and that spay-abort is inhumane and unnecessary? Those of us in animal welfare know those statements are not only wrong, they're also dangerous. Our panel is here today to clear the air with facts, experience, and compassion. We want to give you an inside look at the reality of the situation, because the truth matters and lives are depending on it. So for viewers who might not know, can you please explain what a spay-abort procedure actually is? And are we really suffocating kittens and throwing them in the trash?
The procedure is very much, it's the same as in a non-pregnant animal. You go in through an incision in the abdomen, locate the uterus, which is really no problem when they're quite heavy with child there, and then tie off the vessels and remove the uterus. Any fetus that is in there, just simply, they don't have suffering, they don't have pain. This is just, they have a blood supply and then they do not. And and that's how it happens.
The next question I had, and you guys have addressed this to a point for sure, is overpopulation a myth or a real and urgent problem? Thank you.
Yes, there are too many. That's the easy one. And I just don't think that you can understand the scope of the overpopulation until you are in one of these situations and until you see all the animals coming in, until you work with people who do the euthanasia. And let's be honest, the people, we're all out there doing what we can. The people who are tasked with caring for these animals and then euthanizing these animals in the shelters, they're legends. Like, those people are out there, and they're not doing it because they want to. They're doing it because that's what's happening. There is a math problem here. It's animals in, animals out. It's space, it's money, and that's just the reality of where we are.
So we receive about 60 to 90 calls each day of people needing help to spay and neuter. Now, these are people who want to do the right thing. I can't even guess what the number of people who are out there who don't want to do the right thing. So we're only, I was telling you before, we're fixing about 600 to 700 animals each month. And we're only helping 25% of the people that are calling us.
This won't surprise any of you, but for any listeners out there, I've seen data that one unspayed female and one unneutered male in 7 years will produce 420,000 cats. From two, because it's exponential. It's 2024 data via the Kitten Lady. Last year, more than 1.5 million kittens entered shelters. More than 1 million of them were under 8 weeks of age. Roughly 4 or 5 of those came in as a stray, meaning they were found on the streets. Close to 250,000 kittens, so 250,000 kittens, died in shelters in 2024. 173,000 of those were under 8 weeks old, and of those, 56% were euthanized, 44% died unassisted, meaning they came in off the streets, they were so sick, medical care didn't get there in time. Does this surprise anyone? Yeah, we all wish we could say it did, right? But aren't there enough homes for all the cats in the world? Right. What's the problem here? Would you like to address?
Maria and I have another perspective. The hardest part now is you talked about the number of emails that you get. We get emails and PMs daily. My private phone number is given away, and I get the calls and the text messages daily, and I just can't. It's very overwhelming. My own mental health is overwhelmed. And, I've been doing this now. Well, I started TNRing when I was in the 5th grade. I lived in a very low-income neighborhood, and I would babysit and I would spay and neuter all the animals in my neighborhood. I'm almost 60 years old now, and I'm still doing it. And it hasn't gotten any better, and the suffering I see has not gotten any better, and it's been very, very difficult. There's not enough homes.
On the way down here, I was telling her, I got called to help with a guy who had 15 cats inside his house. He didn't have the money to spay or neuter, so they were reproducing. First night I went there, I had 4 traps, and I said, let's concentrate on females. And he said, well, that one's female, but that one's pregnant, and that one's pregnant. And I said, okay, then let's take them first. And he goes, but they're pregnant. I said, do you need more cats in your house? And he said, nope. And we spayed them.
So everyone agrees the fix for this is spay and neuter everything you can get your hands on, including, thank you, fix your freaking cats. Yeah, and including the pregnant females. Yes, yes.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
Nobody likes it.
Well, so here's my next question. What would you say to someone who feels emotionally conflicted about the idea of spay-abort procedures? Do you want to?
From a TNR perspective again, a lot of our colonies that reproduce, we have inbreeding going on. And so those kittens that are born, they are born without limbs, they're born with handicaps. Even if they look perfectly fine on the outside, they have some internal issues with kidneys or livers, hearts, and you can't see that. And even if adopters adopt them, they find this out later and they become very expensive to treat and they have a very limited lifespan. And like I said, that happens frequently in the feral colonies because you've got sons breeding with moms, et cetera, et cetera. And so I just think that needs to be stopped. And unfortunately, you get a feral mom and she's pregnant, chances are those kittens are not going to thrive well, even if you find them the best of homes.
And I think it just goes back to the suffering question. How many of these do you want to have get born, have treatable or untreatable diseases, and then die on the street? So I understand it's a difficult situation, and none of us want to be in the situation where we have to do it, but difficult decisions need to get made because this is where we are. And for me, again, it just comes down to which of these is going to prevent more suffering.
Well, I want to thank you all so much for joining us today. We really appreciate getting the broader perspective. We also have some friends from across the country who have some words to share with you on the same topic, and we thank you all for your time.
Yo, Sterling Trap King Davis, here to let y'all know that cat overpopulation is a real thing, and the way to fix it is Trap-Neuter-Return. Get your traps out, baby.
Hi, I'm Steph Munden. I'm the founder of Peyton's Angels Worldwide, Inc., which is a TNR organization based out of Orange County, California. We're committed to fighting the overpopulation crisis on a daily basis. For example, what started off as 2 mama cats dumped by their owner quickly became a family of 10 when they were forced to deliver their kittens on the cold, harsh streets of Santa Ana. Now, this family was fortunately saved, but there are millions of other mama cats and their kittens out there that will continue to suffer. The only humane solution to this problem is TNR programs, which include spay-abort. We're never going to have enough homes, and we're never going to adopt our way out of this situation.
Hi, my name is Deanne Smith, and I'm a former humane law enforcement officer and founder of Barn Patrol here in Central Florida. I've been involved in TNR for over 8 years, and I've worked TNR sites all across the United States, from Alaska to Hawaii, California to Florida. And I'm here to tell you the cat overpopulation crisis is real, and it's everywhere. The prevention of this pregnancy after pregnancy, litter after litter, the prevention is the compassion. Change brings awareness, and it continues with action. So please be part of the solution. Please spay and neuter your pets, and please support TNR in your community and nationally and locally if you can. Together, we can prevent suffering, and we can give community cats a healthier and safer life.
My name is Carrie Ann May, and I run Animal Outreach of Shelby County in Indiana. I've been working in Trap-Neuter-Return for community cats for over 15 years. And the biggest reason we always spay, even pregnant cats, is this. There is a shortage of affordable spay-neuter appointments. Adding more kittens just means more cats competing for fewer appointments, and the cycle never ends. Spaying now gives us a chance to catch up, and that's what we really need to be able to save lives. Just a chance to catch up.
Hello, my name is Melissa Dene, Executive Director of Love Your Feral Felines. The topics that we discuss today can be very emotional, but these are necessary conversations for us to be having. And we thank you so much for joining us today in these difficult discussions. We dream of a world where rescues are redundant and where we're not needed anymore, where all the animals have homes and none of them are suffering. But that's just not the reality of where we're at right now. But we invite you to join us in this important work, because every life that we save begins with somebody that cared enough to take action.